Hey and hello everybody. This is my second video in this channel, and basically what I'm about to do is to let you know about this topic of what to study after high school. So as this is more aimed for the young people, the ones that are still in this school, or also for the older generation or like middle-aged people that want to study something else from the university and think that maybe they need to change to 180 degrees turn and study something else. So without further ado, let's jump into this topic. And here we can see that basically, first of all, since I already mentioned, the first slide is for those that are still studying in the high school or elementary school. Those kids or people, yeah, that want to have a good career path in their life. And I picked up some topics when I looked back at my school years, and I saw some patterns happening there. Also with the in cohesion with the job interviews and everything like that. And yeah, the first one is in listed as maths, but as I know that many of you could argue about it, that yeah, maths is not totally needed or it's not something that I use every day or something like that, but in general it's still needed because it has hidden benefits to it. And let me explain why. It's very overestimated subject to learn to study. So if somebody specializes in maths or is good at maths, then they think that his or her view is very logically approaching to every problem and solving a lot of problems. That's actually a good quality to have, and that's the main argument of maths people, and that's actually somewhat true. So if you don't listen to them, it's your own problem. But I advise you to listen to them because, yeah, there's a lot of things in maths that you don't need in the real life or in your job, but there is a like basic knowledge that you will need because, for example, you need even the elementary school algebra that is basically like something like 152 plus that equals that, right? So basically you will need it for this kind of purposes. And the connection with this is basic IT class. As for my second point here, this cohesion is with mostly related to the Excel. And with Excel you kind of need to know how to make a sum out of something. That's very important, how to find average. Also all this real life knowledge that you need even when you're not working. Maths can be good for you because when you know how to implement those formulas to Excel or Google Sheets or something like that, then you know how to keep your economy under control, your basic economy of your life, of your real life. So you make all your spendings and all your profits, and you will see if you are in a loss or you are in a profit, and what kind of direction are you moving into. So I think yeah, maths is actually very overestimated topic. And another thing about the maths is that a lot of guys that have interviewed me in the job interview is seeing that I'm coming from a school that is studying maths in a wider scale. So if you're already studying maths in a wider scale, that is already benefit for other people that know that maths helps you in life. So those people that having a job interview to you, they are usually like, I don't know, this kind of managers, right? Your boss basically, and these people, they are boss for a reason, usually. So they will have this idea that you will need to study a lot of maths at school, and the wider scale you study maths in, the better for them. And sometimes they have even choose me based on that I've been studied maths in a wider scale than the others. So that's why maths is so important. It's not that you will need everything that you study in maths in the real life, but you need to pass those courses that wider math is going to give you, or some percentage calculations you will need, and algebra, basic algebra, and how to implement them into this Microsoft Office or Google Sheets. And also, as for the IT classes, it's good to know computer components. I mean, when you buy, for example, a computer, you kind of need to know this performance that your computer will have to make sure that it will work for the purpose that you will need it for. And yeah, that's what I also think, that it's good, and you can save more cost with putting together your own PC or putting together your own laptop even. So I think it's good knowledge to have IT class in your school. If you don't have it, maybe you can even leave a feedback to your school that why don't we have an IT class or something. But I think nowadays everyone should have this. When I went to school, then I had one IT class every week, so starting from the 8th grade or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty important nowadays to know some basics about the IT class or IT. And then we have languages. Languages is also actually, it's not as important as maths or IT class, but it's still important because, I mean, if you don't know how to speak English, you are already in trouble in the world. And if you are still learning it, it's good that you are making steps to learn it. But at the same time, you kind of need to know how to speak in English with people, because this has become into very international language in the whole world. Of course, there is like billions of people that doesn't speak English in the world, but still, this is something that you will definitely need. So if English is not your native language, study English as your secondary language, and it's good to know one more language in the peak scale. So it's not something like what do we have, like let's say Macedonian or something like that, Greek, which is smaller. Because I mean, if you compare, for example, like French or Greek, then French will be more useful for you. It will open you more doors than the Greek language. But at the same time, Greek language is kind of like specialized, and if some not so many people are good at it, then you might have your doors opening for it. But I generally think that it's more beneficial for you to study French rather than Greek. But if it's like a choice between I don't know, French and German, for example, then you might make a decision which is best for you. That you will see that your career path in front of you, and which language, like whether French or German, is going to benefit you more. So you will have to make the decision based on that. So yeah, Greece, sorry about bringing you up, but of course there's smaller languages group in the Europe, like Lithuanian and stuff. But yeah, sorry for bringing you out for this comparison. I didn't mean any harm for it. Maybe studying Greek is better than I know. So yeah, if you don't agree, you can always leave the comment. But my point was a little bit different from this. So let's move on. It's good, yeah, to have at least speak 3 different languages. If you cannot speak 3, then at least 2 is good. And even if you are like from the UK or US, then I advise you to at least learn Spanish or something big, guys. That is very good. Even if you relocate yourself to some other country, let's say that you are going to live in Sweden, then study some Swedish. I mean, why not? Because it's your home now. Of course, you can do everything in English there, but the thing about this is that when you have those talks with other guys, other your friends, and some strangers if you can say already something in Swedish, they will be surprised, and they will see you as their friend rather than their enemy, if you can already speak their language. So that's one good reason why to, at least even if you don't know more than one language in your life, then at least try to learn some basics in the other language where you're like relocating in or you're going to holiday in. It's good to have those kind of talks with strangers. And then we have geography, countries and capitals. Now that's the same kind of similar reasons to this why to focus on the languages, but that's not as big as focusing on the languages, because focusing on geography is very important actually, because if, like, let's say that somebody from Latvia is relocating to US, and the US citizen doesn't know where Latvia is and asking them if it's Russia or not, then this Latvian guy was getting really angry at you and he's not going to be friends with you. So yeah, it's good to know at least the location of every country where they locate in the map, and also the capitals is nice knowledge to know, because they are going to speak about it. If they want to be your friends or they want you to be their friends, then you have to speak about this kind of topics, that you have to kind of know where they are from. So yeah, it's very important that you know, and don't get too lazy about it. I mean, you don't have to, of course, know every country in the world, but you should at least know those that are represented or your friends are from or something like that. It's nice to know. If you have a friend, let's say for example from Slovakia or something, and you don't know where Slovakia is, then why you are even their friend, At least show some respect to them. So yeah, and then parts of basic history, that's another thing that is important the other way around. So if I, for example, would go to US to live there, and I don't know anything about your civil war, then I would be considered as ignorant. And yeah, so that's something that you will need to know about all these great wars and great imperiums, because empires. Because the thing is that if you don't know about like Roman Empire or something, you will get Italians upset, because they are very proud about their empire, and so is basically US, UK, the colonized empire, French, German. Everybody is very proud of their empires. So if you at least know that there was an empire like that, and what were they struggling with and what they were like succeeding with, then you have already a topic what to speak with the stranger, or getting to know the strangers, getting more people connected with the life, getting more doors open for your job as well. That's some main topics that people discuss in the job, and even I discuss in my job with my colleagues about history. So yeah, very important. The geography and history is those two topics that are usually covered at work, and in the office job it's usually that people are speaking with each other, and if you don't speak with other people about the stuff that they are interested in, then you're not finding very good time there. It would be very difficult for you to adapt with their logic and so on, and especially when you're a new entry. I mean, if you're already used to office work and so on, and you haven't needed geography or history in your life, then I don't know how to get into this position, but yeah, somehow you did. So congratulations. And yeah, so which might be useful later. Also, in addition to geography and history, there's media and economics. These are also very discussed topics. I mean, for example, let's take US election, right? Trump versus Harris right now, 2024. I'm doing this video in October. We're having Trump versus Harris to candidate as to be the US president. And when I was asking the US citizen about this, he answered to me that I don't even care who is going to be our president. And then I was like, What do you mean you don't care? Like, come on, man. It's very important thing to have, especially here in this area of Europe. It's very important who is going to be the next president, because that shows if Europe is going to beat Russia or not. And the same thing is with Israel right now. All these wars, and it's very influenced because US is the biggest part of NATO. Like, as a country, I mean, Europe in general is bigger, but it's only when we are unified. And US is already like alone, very big, and they have huge war industry and stuff. And yeah, so I think media is very important, that the news that you follow and others follow. If I speak with my country people, then they usually know about Trump versus Harris, and also I'm sure that other U.S. citizens also know about this, and they know a little bit more in detail about this, but the ones that follow the media. But if you're not interested in media and you are a U.S. citizen, then I mean, you are making the decision for the whole world, and you don't even care about it. Like, that's very, I mean, that's kind of offends me, you know. I don't know, but I get really triggered about this. But yeah, I like those people that are actually like, yeah, US citizens, follow the media, know about Trump versus Harris, made their own decision, made up their mind, whichever they prefer. It's good that they have their view of life about this. But if you're like very far from media and stuff, then it's really, really bad, and you don't have anything to talk with it. I'm not speaking about Russian media here or anything like that, because that is very brainwashing. However, the other media that is actually important, from some reliable sources as well. So yeah, it's good to know some stuff that is happening in media. And then we have economics. Also good to know when is going to be recessions, when it's going to affect your life, when it's more difficult to find a job, and so on. And also how to make your financial planning in your real life. That's very, very important as well. As I mentioned, that maths and basic IT classes give you the basic knowledge about it, and economics is going to give you a little bit wider topic about it, and also making you more into like accounting and business starting. It's all there. So yeah, those things are really good to study, and yeah, let's see. So, which field should I specialize in after high school? So now this is the topics. Even you don't have to come from the high school. You can just make a career path change as well in your life. And I listed some up, like not some, but many of them up, the general ones. And these are the ones that actually I would go and study right now, because I mean, a lot of these have demand to it. And this demand is very much in detail right now. Down to earth logic is that psychology and social work, that was not very common, or it was common to go to study for like, I think 20 years ago, but it didn't have quite a good of a market in the future. And also it was like 20 or 10 years ago, 10 to 20 years ago was this psychology and social work was very looked down into, and said that basically you shouldn't go and study that, and it kind of wasn't really beneficial, didn't pay well, and so on. But nowadays I see that a lot of people, I mean, basically almost every second people right now is struggling with stress and anxiety, and a lot of breakdowns and depression, especially with this online and social media coming always up. The demand has increased significantly for this, and people doesn't even showcase it. So basically, when you go to study psychology or something, you can be your self-made worker, and I mean self-made business and so on. How was it called? basically you can freelancer. Yes, you can make freelance work with this, and psychology and social work is something that is always going to be needed in today's world, and more. It only grows. Uh, but yeah, like 10 to 20 years ago, nobody believed in this, but now everybody's changing their mind because we can see that there is a lot of stress around the world. And then we have medicine. Medicine is also something that is always been needed. I mean, there's people are getting demographics are getting older and older. People are living longer lifespans. There's also a lot of treatments needed in the hospitals needed. A lot of doctors needed. I think in Northern Europe there was even like this shortage of the doctors and nurses and everything. That a lot of nurses went to Norway to do medicine there, and if you can speak Norwegian, then obviously it's a very good place for you, and you can get paid really well. So if you don't mind the blood or stuff like that, I think medicine is a really good way to earn a decent career path in your life. And I really respect medicine. I think that the country should invest more into it. So we as customers shouldn't be paying too much for it, but at the same time, obviously, like getting treatment is very expensive. So yeah, it's always good to in the medicine field that there is a lot of opportunities opening up there. And then we have drawing sketches and schemes, which actually was quite surprising when I was watching some of the jobs that I was doing. That the people that were doing drawing sketches and schemes are actually very like hold to they basically don't let them go. So when they hire somebody good that is doing their drawings really good or really well, then they don't want to fire them. They want them to stay there, and that's another good way to ask for the extra salary because nobody else can do it. Because I think also in my university I struggle with these kind of things a lot, and there's not so many people with that good of a handwriting or doing this kind of sketches. So you need to kind of specialize into it, and a lot of companies will need it because it's about housing and about I don't know, like furnitures and everything, kitchens, in the stuff that you need in the real life, and you will need drawings for it. And even the big areas, like I don't know, big company buildings, company areas, even in the railway, there is a lot of drawings going on there. Even in the airport, you need the airport scheme. Everything it's connected with this, and you will always need those kind of people that get the job done. So yeah, I think that's another good field that you should specialize in if you are good at it. And even if you're not, then you can always try and see if it works for you. But I mean, that might be difficult because when you already pay for the university, you kind of have to graduate it there. Then we have electricity and energetics. Now that's another topic that is not so much mentioned, but the utilities is a constant cost for the people in the housing area. So there's a lot of demand for this. Basically, people cannot live without electricity. You need to charge your phone, you need to put your PC in the outlet, you need to even charge your laptop and stuff. So everything is connected with electricity and energetics as well. And if you know how to establish cables and stuff, of course it's dangerous, but at the same time it really pays off. And specializing in this area, I think that can be pretty good. I would say that this one is a very underestimated area to go to, even if you're just a random electrician and having some trainings going, not going after high school you can already work in the field and get a lot of money from it. So yeah, I think electricity and energetics is also something. It's a wide area, I know, but it's something that really pays well as well. At the same time, of course, it's very environmentally not friendly and stuff, but this is where the money is right now. This is where the big companies is. And then we have law, and law is actually very many people say that I don't want to study law. There's too much information. I don't understand the laws. And the laws are so stupid that our country is making always wrong decisions and everything. But on the other hand, this is another place where the money is. So if you're like a good lawyer, if you're a good this kind of how you say, the other guy that is asking those questions and laying the blame in the court. Anyways, if you are working in a court or you're working in some other kind of expertise, because the law is the constitutional law, and it divides into many different laws that you can specialize in. So yeah, and another topic that where the money is, and once you know, you know. If you have time to read the law, it's a good way to get yourself going in the law scene as well. And if you have education for it, even better. Then people can see that you have some trainings and readings done with the law, and you know your stuff. You know how to argument. This is a good way to earn money as well. And many people don't choose it because they don't want to choose it. They hate their country so much that they would never go into the law, so it is the opportunity for others. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good way. Then we have accounting. Accounting is another way to earn yourself a decent salary. Accountants have to be very precise with their maths and very precise with their payments out very fast and everything like that, especially at the end of the month. They have a lot of work to do, and but it pays also well. So if accounting is something that you would be interested in, I would say that can pay off for sure. Then we have industrial agriculture. Industrial agriculture, of course, is something that is the future. Even the regular agriculture is the future, because I mean, many people move away from the countryside to the cities right now, and I think in the future they are going to move back. Like it was with the psychology and social work, I think with this agriculture is going to be the same, because I mean, obviously the work life in the city is more stressful than at your own farm or something like that. At your own farm you can be basically a home boss. You just need to do the work for a day or for the summer or whatever. But anyways, if you have good machines to do it, then why not? I think it's something that it will be the future. It's maybe not really right now very profitable, but in the future it can be something. Basically, people are not going to be all vegetarian, or even like I mean, shepherds are also here. They are not going to be all vegetarian and all like not want to eat or anything. Even if you go grow wheat or you grow potatoes, this is something that people need every day, and they need to eat. Every person needs to eat, and there will be only more people in this world. So agriculture is something really what I would see that maybe future would be that people are going to move away from the cities again, since in the cities there's no more jobs, or this maybe can pay off in the future, this agriculture and stuff. Then when it becomes profitable, people will go back to it. And especially when in the office maybe you have to do like 3 people's job, in there you have to do 1 person's job. So which one would you choose? And especially when you go to the countryside, live there, have the peace and quiet to you, is very, very nice. Then we have mechanics. mechanics is also something that is very not really known, that they are actually earning a lot of money. Because I mean, when you're a mechanic, is you're doing like the hands-on work every day, and making sure that there's I don't think there's many people even specializing at it, and you don't really need the papers all the time for that. You need some work experience for this, and even if you need papers, you can always make the papers and know more about it, get a higher paying job, and this field is actually very very profitable, and many people don't know about it. If you're good at mechanics, or if you're good at welding stuff and so on, this might be a very good solution to honestly make yourself ahead with others, to others in the work scene or job market. Then we have a specialized driver, trains, ambulance, cranes. Also, yeah, those tractors and stuff is another thing with agriculture and stuff, and also not only for the agriculture, but digging something, because there is a lot of projects I think right now that is with those done, and the road construction is done. The cranes are always needed for everything. Ambulance is a specialized vehicle that is needs a specific license to basically drive with it. So not many people are specializing, and maybe this can be your opportunity. Especially when your country, for example, you live in like Germany or something, then trains might be very very good to go around with, and they will need a lot of train drivers. So yeah, I think specialized driver is also a very curious spot, and as you see the trend, I'm bringing out a lot of like hands-on work with physical work instead of office work. But nowadays, I see the trend that basically the shortage is from the physical work, because nobody really wants to do the physical work. Everybody wants to be in the office and sit from 8 to 5 or from 9 to 6 or whatever. Like, anyways, everybody wants to do this kind of job instead of the physical work. So they want to do something that doesn't have that much value instead of something that is like value for the basic needs of the people. So like ambulance is basic need of the people, because when you get like injury or something that is affecting your life, or even can basically you can die, then you will need an ambulance to get yourself to the hospital. Then it's the cranes. I mean, those things that you will see, that housing, right? Your own house is maybe those cranes have even put those construction materials ready for you or something like that. Then the trains, you're using trains like every day to go to work or something like that. So basically, what physical job is that it will get the basic people's need fulfilled. The office job comes later. Is the second step. Is basically when you have so many people that everybody can be a train driver, or everybody can not be an ambulance driver, but then it's good to go to the office. But right now it's been a trend that office workers, there are more office workers than the physical workers that actually get the job done. So yeah, I think the shortage comes from there, not from the office. That's why I always bring out these kind of places. Of course, I try to do this drawing and sketches and stuff also here to list the law and everything as well from the office, but mostly it's about physical stuff that you should specialize in. But of course, there are some office works that you can specialize in, like this video editing and photography. Now that's actually quite an interesting topic, because there used to be like Sony Vegas was the only place where you can do video editing, but now there's a lot of new programs to it, and yeah, I think it's something that not everyone can do, or not everyone has time to do. I mean, of course you can by learning at some point, but when you have done it, you are doing it much faster, this video editing. And if you are a professional video editor, then this can also pay off your salary big time. I heard that Mr. Beast had a video editor that was suing him or something, making a bad video about him, but but anyways, he got paid a lot by doing this. So it's not a bad place to go to. And it's not only for YouTubers, but it's also video editing for companies, for big companies, so why not? And photography might be not so profitable, but can be still profitable, because photography is needed in the nature, in the food industry. I mean, the restaurants, they will want you to shoot their how you say, food, and make photos about it, so they can put it on the homepage, in their menu, or like attract more customers when they check the restaurant out online. Then you can do photography in the clubs, you can do it in the weddings, everywhere, and you can ask a lot of money for it as well nowadays, because you will need a camera, you will need to pay off your stuff, so the prices have gone higher than they were before. So if you're a good photographer, then you can earn a lot of salary with this. And then we have teaching and consulting. This office work that I was mentioning before, a lot of office work is going over to the consulting industry. Of course, you have to be an expert and a specialist about it, but at the same time, kind of everyone wants to talk to you and teach you and stuff. You know, everybody wants to. Nowadays, they are asking money for everything, and we are asking money for everything. Of course, this channel is not, because I'm just doing it as my hobby, but I mean, there's like consulting companies, and those companies that even offer consulting to somebody, but who kind of needs consulting? I mean, sorry, if you don't have money, the first thing you cut is the consulting. I think that's the way to go in the real life, because if like something happens and the chain reaction happens in somewhere, if your job is very related to chain reactions, then maybe you will need consulting, because it's very important to know how one piece is affecting another. But at the general view of me, like when I've seen what they do, they're asking like 700 euros for some conference, and then what do they give me? Some general knowledge, and they are not going into details or anything, and that's very bad. Like, what's the point of the consulting when they already share the information that you already know? So that's what I don't like. And also this companies that right now doing this, let's say that they're getting people to work for you. They pay those people like the minimum wage or something, and then you pay some middleman fee to them, and they are going to get you people to work for you. They are going to find you people, so you don't have to deal with this path and so on. So I don't like this, but maybe you like it. Leave the comment if you like it. Then we have teaching. That is, I mean, teachers in general, it's also a physical job, because you always have to be in school, unless you're like only giving online lectures. But I think it's also something that maybe the future will see that, oh hey, we are going to need some teachers, and we're having a shortage of teachers that are actually educating our kids. So that would be a problem, and the countries, and they cannot let this to happen. So being a teacher, you have a very many leverage over the country if there is like all the teachers are striking or something. So I think it also can be profitable in the future. I'm not like 100% convinced about it yet, but I think might be. Then we have material science and engineering. Now that's very important. It's always needed, because if you don't have the house construction well, then you're not going to buy an apartment there. If you don't have like a shop constructed well, you're not going to shopping in there, so the engineer is where the all starts. And so yeah, also here I could mention also this drawing and sketches was more about the architecture, but material science is actually estimating if you have enough to hold it like physically, this store and so on. Yeah, anyways, it's pretty important that you know about a lot of materials that many people haven't even heard about, and etc. It opens you many doors. So I think this one was and still is a pretty good field to study. And same with the construction. So construction comes from this as well at some point, that the guys that get the job done and which kind of order are they going to do it, this kind of taking offers, doing beats, everything like that is pretty important. And the road construction goes underneath it as well. It's area that they always need somebody there and physically present and physically building your house, because there's a lot of housing crisis right now in many countries. Like in the UK, I've heard that there was a housing crisis. Many people don't have home to live in, or in China, like many people don't have a place to live in, or it's going to be not completed, and so on. There's a lot of construction crisis that has been in the world, and housing crisis. So construction is something that there will be always a demand in. Then we have army. Actually, army is always overlooked, because it's let's say that you're kind of putting your life in danger with this, because you might be sent into this places that you don't want to be sent into, and somewhere where is the war. Like for example, right now you can be sent to the Middle East, right? So even if you're sent to the Middle East, you know, to defend from the rockets, it's pretty dangerous for you there, because there is war going on between Israel and Iran and Lebanon as well, and it's a very dangerous place to be in, as even like U.S. citizen or somebody. So yeah, I think if you are kind of accepted, it's okay, because I think in the U.S. Army there's not only a place like, you know, Middle East. You're not sent only to Middle East. You can be sent to other places, and there's a lot of rotations and around the world. So yeah, some places are more safe, some places are not that safe. But in general, I don't know. There's some jobs there, like even manufacturing ammunition and stuff. It's also part of army, and that's what I think that maybe it's not that bad. Especially you get paid pretty well for in the army when you work as a like this kind of guy that works for paid military, and might be a viable option actually, because it's not maybe like even being a lumberjack that I listed later, or somebody like I don't know, construction worker can be more dangerous than in army, because you have more ways to die and stuff. Mechanic can be dangerous. All this, yeah, those guys that working in manufacturers can be dangerous. Then army doesn't sound too bad either, because it's also as equally dangerous as these two. There's these fields as well. So I think army is a little bit underestimated, because the first thought that the people have, you're putting your life in danger, and I'm not going to the army. That's true. That's true, but you also put your life in danger with other fields. However, in the army, I think there is this usually at least you are away from some time from your family. And now this is where the real problem comes in, because you don't want to be away from your family for 6 months or something. But on the other hand, you can rejoin them after 6 months. So might not be too bad. But at some points, when there is a critical stage or a critical, let's say, time, then your contract might be extended there, and you have to stay for a longer time and so on. There might be some very bad things, but there might be some good things. I think army is a viable option, honestly. Like honestly, I would even consider working there at some point, but not right now, because I'm really happy with my work. But I think you should definitely consider it. It's of course it has very huge uh, minuses or downsides to it, but at the same time it has a lot of upsides. So yeah, you should debate on this before you make your decision about your life, because I mean, of course, the life is very important and stuff and so on, but there's a lot of places in the army that doesn't put you into the front line, you know. And yeah, so we have robotics also. Now robotics is very interesting because a lot of robots is needed. Let's say that bomb defusing robots, like in the army, right? Then we have, and in the police forces, there's a lot of robots in the army, and then we have them in the household. We're having those vacuuming robots and mopping robots. It's really becoming a huge industry. We have also big robots that are building the cars, and this is something that can be very futuristic, and it was futuristic already 20 years ago, but it still is. And I don't know if it's going in the downfall like the one that I will speak later about, but I think it will stay as it is because the AI is generated, and a lot of AIs have generated, but AI is the system that is inside the robot. So the robot is something that is like physical material is also involved. It's pretty cool. I like it, and it's pretty fun, and it's paying pretty well as well. Then we have genetics. Now something that is based on with science or in the lab can be very profitable, and the specialists for this is always needed in the labs and stuff. Okay, so I just unpaused because there was a family issue here, but yeah. Anyways, let's continue with this topic. So where were we? We were in the genetics. That basically genetics, yeah, in the labs and stuff, it's pretty good to be a researcher. It pays off really well. Has a very good facilities and so on. Even if you cannot do it in your own country, you can always do it abroad. Yeah, so that's why I think that these kind of fields are also good in abroad. That maybe not the law, but because law is usually very specific. But there is European Union office that you can go to or get into. There's still some opportunities even in the law. So yeah, and then we have lumberjack or forest economy. Now, forest economy is very important because a lot of countries are chopping down the forest already. Then there is not so many places where you can even chop the forest nowadays, and this forest becomes really precious because everybody wants to go to the forest to hike and to breathe the fresh air, to be in the fresh air, to be in the countryside. It's like forest is very important, and nobody really likes that when they are chopping down the forest. But at the same time, there's a lot of forest used in the furniture. There's a lot of forest used in the, like, IKEA, right? And there's a lot of forest used in the heating and so on. Uh, like fireplaces, even some people use it for. So yeah, forest is pretty becomes pretty essential, but at the same time, there's since it's so downed by the basically environment, or yeah, because it's not environmentally beneficial to chop it down. And in Amazonas, it's a big issue that in Brazil they are chopping down a lot of forest that is a home for many species. But when nobody really wants to do this kind of job, then I mean, it's an opportunity for you to earn money out of it, because even if it's not environmentally friendly, there still has to be some forest cutting. So if you want to have like furniture in your house, then very essential that there has to be some forest cutting done by some people. So yeah, I think dealing with this and calculating the calculus about how much forest to cut down, where to cut down, and how to get the licenses for cutting and so on, it's it's some kind of industry that is can be very beneficial for your future, to know about these things. Even if you respect the forest, you can still be like a lumberjack. You don't have to be like environmentally hostile or anything. You can still be taking only what you need from the forest. So yeah, it's a two-sided thing, but I think it's something that can be beneficial in your future. Then we have maths and physics. Well, they are like the general things that you can study. If you're really good at them, you should go and study. But if you're not, then don't. But they will open you many doors, as I said before. That many people are watching if you have studied maths or like studied the wider maths even in the high school. But if you are specializing in maths, it's opening you so many doors because it's very overestimated topic. And even then you can do some calculus that other people cannot, so you can use it as your advantage. Same with physics. If you know how things work, which actually, like, let's be honest here, by the time that you graduate from the high school, you don't really know like all this energetics and stuff because you never had practice in it. Like, they're not teaching any energetics in your school, or even if they did, I don't know, like, just the minimal about it. So yeah, I don't know that physics, if it goes wider, you will have to, like, going down to earth logic there is might be very difficult, honestly, in my opinion. So physics is so and so. I think it's good for somebody that is already older, so somebody that is changing their specialization or their field. I think physics can be very very beneficial to study. But for the young people, like when you graduate your university, get your bachelor's degree, I don't know, like, do you actually understand everything about physics? I'm not sure because it's very difficult to study it. It's a difficult field to study, like is maths. But if you're good at it, then maybe it can be opening you very very many doors, and you can be a very good specialist already after you graduate. If you graduate any of these two topics, I think you will get a good job like right off the bat. So yeah, if you are good at this, then you can go. But most of the people like me, I think we have to focus on these areas. And now, what not to specialize in 2024 or 2025 even. This is now why I put a year here was this, that the situation has changed a lot in the past 10 years. So right now different topics have not come so beneficial anymore. And due to the high competition in the area, or some kind of yeah, basically high competition, and that's about it. But anyways, these are the topics that I want to cover here, what not to specialize in, because these fields I found that can be having some very big downsides to it. Like IT. IT is great when you can get the work there, but I don't think that it pays really well to the entry level, and everybody is kind of searching for the senior developers already by the time that we're making this video. So it used to be very very beneficial, and there was a huge shop openings and a huge industry coming into life, coming into the future and so on. But nowadays the globalization is actually a very big problem for the IT, because there is a lot of digital nomads, and you can get a guy from Pakistan to like work for some kind of industries in the IT that is yeah, you can get a guy from the Pakistan that is working for IT, that studied IT and doesn't ask you a lot of money and is a senior developer already. and you don't even need to blink an eye for this, and they are obviously better choice than your own people. So in your country, like let's say in the UK, and there's a big company in this in the IT sector, just hire some kind of guy that is from Pakistan, works remotely, gets the job done because it doesn't need to be in place there, and rather than hire somebody that has just finished their, I don't know, high school or bachelor's degree and studied something, and this is still an entry level. So yeah, this is something that they don't really hire that many entry levels people nowadays for the IT, because they kind of want the things to get done fast. The competition is very very big in the IT sector because a lot of people have studied it. They were taking a huge number of people to study it in the already in the West, and some people know it in the East also, and around the world people can basically work. You can live in Thailand like a king and just, I don't know, work in the IT sector. I live with the family there, not spend not having so many expenses there. So in the IT industry, yeah, I honestly think that it has become huge competition there, huge, like for especially for those that are like entry level people. There's, I think, even if you watch LinkedIn, you can see that there's like at least 200 plus applicants like for every kind of job in the IT sector. So yeah, I wouldn't specialize in this anymore. I mean, you can always have study it when you need it for your work, of course. When you need to code in, let's say, like material science or something like that, then yeah, study IT, like study, do some training courses for Python or for JavaScript or something, but don't focus on this because yeah, entry level is a huge fight for you. It's not worth it anymore. It was worth it, yeah, like 20 years ago or 10 years ago, but nowadays there's a lot of people that are specializing in this, and why not? Because it's pretty. I mean, kind of like a job that is suitable for the introverts, and I think a lot of guys nowadays don't want to do anymore physical jobs anymore. They want to do the office jobs and they want to do remote jobs even. So this is one of the sector that has the most remote jobs, and that's why I think that the IT is something that you will have a huge fight in. Maybe yeah, if you have like master's degree on IT or something like PhD there, might work out for you. But if you have bachelor's degree or even an high school education and you have done some trainings about JavaScript, then might be very difficult to get into this, into some big companies there. Then we have environment. Environment, yeah, it's something that people care about, and something that people like is the jobs that is very highly competitive. Like there's a lot of competition to it, because let's say that I want to save all the Amazonas forest, then I'm not the only one that has this idea. Other people also have the same idea, and the same is with the salaries. Environmental and safety is the last thing that the big companies think about. And as you can see, that the big companies that I listed, or like big industries that I listed, was yeah, basically big industries like energetics and stuff, and they are not very environmentally friendly. They cannot be. They are big companies. They are making a lot of profit. So yeah, it's like they like this right now, and accounting like banking and stuff. There, there is also a lot of money there, and the last thing that they care about is the safety and the environment. I mean, environment is really bad in the world, of course. That's the truth. But honestly, what if you ask what makes you happy from the people, then the first thing they say is money, or they think about money, but actually money doesn't make them happy, right? Anyways, um, money is something that environment doesn't have that much. It's it doesn't sell you anything. It basically gives you an expertise what not to do. It doesn't give you any profit. So only profit is that you are maintaining this wonderful earth and wonderful nature that is here in the earth. This is the only profit, and many people don't think about long perspectives, and that's an issue. That if you live like one day at a time, then you might not even care about this kind of like what's happening in 20 years. You're focusing on right now, and right now is economics recession. I don't have enough money. Let's not work in the environment. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, I think environment is something. Unfortunately, there is not enough money there. There should be. Government should help with these kind of topics a lot. All the kind of governments, especially in China, like I think 30% of world emissions comes from China. So yeah, I think environment is a very big topic here, and we could argue about it, the cons and pros about it all the time, but the truth is that we need to save our environment, but we cannot go too far with it because people still need money to support their families. So yeah, that's my thoughts about it, but obviously not all of you agree with me. You can leave the comments, or like even you can dislike the video. I don't mind, because I'm just doing it for my hobby. I'm doing it for people's enlightenment, that many people would actually see if they are struggling with their career choice right now, that what to do as of it. Because I know that after you graduate school, it's like a shock comes to you and you don't know what to study. Most of the people don't know what to study, and they start to think about it in 1 month. But 1 month isn't enough time to think about it. You should think about it at least for 3 years. What I did when I was in the high school. That where do I go next? But a lot of my friends was like, oh, I don't know, what to do, but I candidated for this, candidated for that, and candidated for that, and yeah, but it's not how it works, because if you make the decision based on 1 month, it's a little bit less time, and all aspects or scenarios are not considered true. That's why I make this channel right now. It's like I have millions of topics to talk about, but I will start going step by step into it. The first one was very general video, now it's in more detail, and we'll go step by step from the school to your career path. So that's why I'm doing this video, to make categorized view for the people that wouldn't struggle as much as I did with my works. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. And sorry if you don't agree with me with the environment aspect, but that's not the point here. That was just one of these views that I have, or views in my life. And then we have logistics and procurement. This one is actually also very contested industry nowadays. I think there was some recent news that Schenker was bought by some DSV, so that's very big news as well. And there's a lot of high competition, and difficult to get into the market as a small company there. And the clients are already distributed by those big logistics companies. Everybody has their own area of operation, doesn't make a lot of profit anymore. Maybe in the air freight, because there's you can deliver all this jewelry and stuff, but with the air it will be still profitable. But for the general logistics, I think the competition is very bloody, and very high competition there. So I would not specialize in logistics anymore. Maybe some parts of it, but the thing is that 20 years ago, right? Let's say time 20, 30 years ago. If there was no, like, let's say 30 years ago, Soviet Union collapses. There's new countries like Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia that have done really well. In those countries, like in Baltics, there was a huge thing that basically you could rebuild everything. You could rebuild all the logistics scene from start importing stuff from the west, and so they did. They did a lot of imported stuff from Finland, from Sweden, from Poland, from even further countries like Brazil, because people started drinking coffee. You need to start importing coffee beans. But nowadays, if you visit those countries, if you visit Baltics, you will see that there's every kinds of different coffee now. There's nothing special anymore about it, because if there's like only one coffee available versus there's a lot of coffees available, it's not paying off anymore. So yeah, I think most of the things are already imported, then kind of, or having a lot of fights with shelf space in the shops, in the retail shops. So yeah, I don't think that logistics is a that good of a specializing area anymore. It used to be, but not anymore. And in this kind of scenes, always have to be available as well, because something can happen with a ship that is stuck in the Suez Canal, like we saw in the news. Then we have culture and art. Now, culture and art is also another topic that is actually not funded enough. There's theater, movies, all these exhibitions, art with paintings and stuff. Everything like that is a very niche market, and it's invested mostly by the government. Of course, there's you can ask for the ticket fees when you go to the theater, but if those ticket fees get too high, then people just doesn't go there. So yeah, I think that's another area what not to specialize in, because yeah, it's underfunded by big time. And as for actors and stuff, it's only the best ones make it through, because there's a huge competition. It's also something that people like. As you can see, that most of the things that is in here is something that people like to do, because this is when you like to do something. Usually don't get paid by this very well, unless you are very like top notch character there. Like in the movies, of course, we can watch like Brad Pitt and we can watch Leonardo DiCaprio doing well, but it's not. It's those characters, those actors. How many actors tried to go to Hollywood and didn't get paid there, or didn't get in the scene even, didn't get any kind of movies or any kind of series, left behind the door. It's a difficult place to start from, and it has huge competition, because huge part of people like to do it. And same with the art, like many people find their hobby as paintings, so why not to paint or make some other types of art and get it to the exhibition. And very niche market also, because paintings is sold only in this paintings group and so on, people that appreciate the art. So yeah, I think culture and art is something that is underfunded, and also a lot of competition there. And then we have real estate. Here also listed. I wasn't actually very sure about this one, but it seems to me like real estate is something that well, you can do, but you can't, kind of don't need to do it, because if, like for example, you have a housing crisis in Britain or Belgium, then you can just introduce the apartment to everybody yourself, not with a real estate agent, and the guys can say, "Oh, I want this," because there's huge crisis, things going very fast, they get like rented out pretty fast and so on. So why would you need a real estate agent for this kind of things if the owner can do it by themselves? So that's why I put it here, because kind of, and it's also very niche one, because if you want a good real estate agent, you have to kind of like be pretty and so on. Like this, some requirements. You need to know how to be polite, how to accept all the opinions from the people, and so on. But I think the owners can very easily do it nowadays as well by themselves, because especially West is these countries that people are going to, and want to be as their last destination. Now, buying real estate or dealing with real estate doesn't need to be. You don't need to be a specialist to do it, because you don't need to specialize in this area basically. Because I mean, if you already need a place to live, you kind of check the market out by yourself already. So I don't really, yeah, if you really don't have time, maybe yes, you can buy a real estate agent, but it's like buying a nanny, is taking care of your kids and stuff. It would be the same. If you don't have time, then maybe it's a good way to you, but if you have time, it's better to spend your own time with your own family. So that's why I put it here, but I'm not sure exactly how the market is right now. It's also that you need to know the language and common languages there. So yeah, I don't think that anyone is hired to do this kind of work anyways. That it's kind of like a sorry, like a niche market. Then we have insurance. Insurance is also feels to me like it's a niche market. Of course, you're always making travel insurance for the going somewhere, but nowadays they are so expensive that you kind of want to avoid them. Every vehicle needs an insurance. If you have a car, you need to buy insurance anyways. But there is also high competition there. You have lots of offers and personalized offers. So I don't see it being very profitable. It's more like chasing every penny. So yeah, I don't really like insurance field. And sales also can be very bloody and very stressful in the sales scene nowadays. Everybody wants to sell you something. They want to sell you, make a need for some kind of product, and so you will buy it and spend money for it. They will get the money for it. Their businesses will get money for it. They might get the result fee for it. Sales is something that is it's kind of like you don't need to know the general knowledge about sales to study to instead of like just doing it. It's something that do it yourselves. You after high school, if you're a good seller, just go and sell stuff. You don't need to study about it. I don't understand why people go study the sales, because it's kind of general knowledge about it that everybody has their own opinions and everybody wants to be looking smart to you and stuff. But the real sales happens when you actually do actions, not listen to the theory about it. So yeah, I don't know. Sales is something that I wouldn't study as well. So the manufacturing and also sales would be something that I wouldn't do, because there's too much competition, and gets very bloody with the other competition companies and so on. I mean, in the street, maybe somebody will recognize you and say, this guy, but usually they don't, but still. And then we have manufacturing, and there's a lot of scams nowadays as well, that people are more cautious about it. Manufacturing, sorry, a lot of coughs in me today, but let's see. Manufacturing is also about producing some products, but the same thing that globalization, kind of all those products already exist. China makes them cheaper than you make them, and why would you ever bother with this unless you have big manufacturing plants already and all the clients and stuff. But at the same time, that is kind of, I think, difficult to make a career path with the office. There's more manufacturing jobs that is hands-on. and I don't think that they are getting paid that well. So yeah, manufacturing is something that I wouldn't specialize in as well. Then there's business. I mean, if you want to start your own business, again the same topic, basically you can already do it. You just do it instead of like listening to the theory about it. Of course, to make a successful business, you need la 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 da 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 da. But you know, in the end, it matters what kind of steps are you doing, because all this information is in Google, in YouTube. Why would you ever need to study business to make business? So maybe to just have a degree and they will hire you somewhere, but even the positions, unless you start your own company, I don't think that many wants you to be with a business background, because you can go basically any time and start your own business there. So yeah, I don't know. Business would be something that I wouldn't study, because you can get all the necessary information to start your own business about online. Maybe even you can cooperate with people that have started their own businesses, or have studied it, ask for the advice and so on. But I don't see the reason why to pay for it and study it. So yeah, economics, the same issue, that basically it's already, by the time that you are in the university, the other topics or fields are also studying, they are teaching you economics. So you kind of don't need it if you are already studied it, and you can find the information about it in various places. It's an important thing to discuss with your colleagues and stuff, but economics is something that I wouldn't study as well, because it's very niche market as well. It's like world economy, yeah, but it becomes to a national economy. How many people are working in a world economy instead of like national economy? So yeah, I don't know. It just sounds a little bit too much to pay for something that I could easily find or easily have my own knowledge of. And then there's media, same topic. I mean, of course, there's news and social media and stuff that it distributes into you, but I would say that media in general is a very high competition area. There's a lot of journalists and all those that people like to do it. People like to interview other people. They like to follow the news, and you're following the news anyways. So why to specialize in it? So yeah, if you like to follow the news, you can already try to apply for the companies after high school even. And if you're feeling confident that you can interview people, then why not to try that? Of course, there's like video editing and stuff that might be very useful, but media doesn't pay that well. Also, that I think I haven't heard rich journalists. Maybe some guys that are like freelance doing their own radio, like this in this Blink Empire or something. You know, this was this Virgin Radio Lebanon. This guy can be rich with their own radio channel, but they're like, of course, in every industry there's top and low notch stuff, but in general salaries, I'm talking about like the average. If you are going into media, I don't think it's easy to get to the top. So it will not be easy for you, and you will find it really difficult. Same with the history. How many archaeologists was in the start of like 1900s, in 1800s? A lot of archaeologists. No, sorry. This guy is that archaeologist. Yeah, archaeologist. So basically, it was about this digging up all these old cities like Alexandria in Egypt and so on, like old civilizations. Very interesting libraries investigating about this topic with this things like in the movies. It sounds pretty cool, but nowadays I don't think there is a lot of left to dig up from the old times, and they are not that valuable items anymore, or they go to the museum that goes under culture and art, so it's not very funded anymore. So historian, yeah, I don't know, like you can talk about history, but again, like going into the top is pretty difficult because history is something that many people are interested in as well. It's not that only you are interested in. And same with other things, like why is everything like this in here? Because actually, like all of these are pretty interesting things to do. Like who wouldn't be want to be a real estate agent in this like I don't know, some Guatemala or something, and in some kind of big hotels and stuff, or like big houses, like mansions and stuff that have stayed there. Everybody wants to do that because they can have an access to the pool and stuff. Insurance. I mean, you think that yeah, you are making value that people will get, payments, and actually you're like taking the money most of the time. But you are fine with it because you are making people feel safe. Then we have also like a lot of stuff that is here like very fun to do, but at the same time it's also fun for the others, and that's why I was listening to this, listing all those things, because who wants to study about physics when you can just do like art, that's my idea about it. And literature is the same, that it's kind of fading away nowadays. I don't think that books are, well, the new books are pretty expensive, but not a lot of people are willing to buy them that much in a big scale. So kind of fading away with the generations, I think. All these libraries and stuff comes down to the articles and more for the in the Google and the databases, all this literature. So yeah, why do you bother? And something that is fading away, like history. I mean, you of course need to know like basic knowledge about it. That yeah, what kind of books are your colleagues reading, like, and how to talk about them, and what do you recommend to your colleagues, and what do the colleagues recommend you to read as well with the books, and so on. And yeah, so I think these two topics are kind of fading away because the other topics are getting more funded. I mean, history is already set, kind of like everything that what there was to dig up has been already dig up. Made a book about all these Roman times, Greek times, all this Persian times, all this everything. Like even this World War One, World War Two, everything is already done. Then why to make it? Of course, there's new wars now, but and they will be covered as well by somebody. Those people that actually want to be there in this field. And same with the philosophy. Is like there's a lot of debates already done with the time. Like why would you even bother? And I don't understand that these three would be the actual worst to go to kind of like specialize in. Honestly, like sorry if you guys are specializing in these three already, but for me, I don't see a reason why would I go ever to kind of these and fight for something that is not worth of a fight. It's there's only a couple of jobs that pay well in these industries, and they are like a top-notch specialist that is very highly educated and so on. They are huge competition to you, and you could never push them out from there. So they're going to do it for the end of their lives, and yeah, that's why I wouldn't go there. And same with the culture of a broad country, like why? I mean, yeah, you know the culture anyways. I mean, you're watching videos about it. You're watching for your own entertainment. You're watching from YouTube some travel vlogs. You're watching some, I don't know, some Japanese going around the world, or some U.S. citizens going to Japan, and living there. You're already watching it. You know all the culture already. So when you go to Japan, you already know what to expect there. Of course, they have some stuff that you haven't watched into, but I don't think you will have to study it for your like speciality, because what does it give you? A job in there in Japan? If you cannot speak Japanese, then it doesn't give you anything. So yeah, it's like that. That why would you need to know the culture if you're not even studying the language, because you are going to offend them no matter what already, and not by not speaking Japanese there. So yeah, I think this is also another topic that not very beneficial to study this kind of thing, because if you just want to do it, go for it. If you want to study Japanese, go into Japan, start studying it there. Like, why would you need to study the culture first? You will see the culture when you're there. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, why would you ever teach this kind of subjects in the school or in the universities even? So yeah, sorry if I'm getting some of you very triggered here, but yeah. And music. Well, music is a very wide subject, but I think most of all it's the competition is very high there. There's a lot of singers and a lot of this kind of like people that want to make songs are there, with some exceptions, like I don't know, setting up the sound is a very good job to do in my eyes, and this can work out pretty good. And of course there's some good DJs and stuff like Tiesto and so on. But yeah, it's I don't know. The music is it's kind of like a branded industry already. There's also like small companies and big companies, right? It's those small companies doesn't stand that much chance against the big companies that are making actual like views and records and stuff, that is actually selling, like having some good contracts like with Taylor Swift already and so on. They become very important. So yeah, I don't think that music gets you far unless you are very good at it. You are like talented at it. But also there's other people that are talented at it. So if you have choice between good people, good person, and a very good person or very good at it in the music, I mean, somebody that is good in music and somebody that is very good in music, then doesn't matter. Like, you can just make your song already with a good musician as well. Why would you need a very good one and wait for this? And even if you are in the big industry, like a big company, then why would you need to let the very good in when you already have something good going on there? So yeah, I don't know. In the music industry, I see that it's becoming very difficult and very competed area to work in. Healthy lifestyle. Now, healthy lifestyle, I wasn't actually 100% sure about this, but this is what I see about it is that people basically they go to gym more often, right? Nowadays, that they used to be, and everybody's paying for the ticket to the gym, getting some personal coaches there, and this can pay off pretty well. But at the same time, I don't know, like personal coach can be anybody. You don't have to study the PE to physical education, sorry, to go to be like a coach, personalized coach for your like. You can just go hit the gym all the time and talk with the guys there, with the coaches, ask them what do they do differently, see how they are approaching to the things, then ask gym that you go to that, okay, I want to be training people, and then they will say to you that, yeah, you have been coming here very often, you are pretty muscular, people will look up at you and stuff, and you can be a coach. So deal done. I mean, more like actions than theory needed in this one. That's why I think that healthy lifestyle, and also it's not only about gym, it's also about like uh, food and stuff that you eat, nutrition. This is also like, I think nutrition is something that is already been done, kind of human body has been investigated all the way through, and see what is good for you with your blood type and everything. and they have different kind of menus that you can follow and so on. It's all online already. You just do some research and you get your personal interest in it, and you do it anyways. So you don't need to go study it. And retail also, why it's very highly competed area. I think if you're in the US, there's Walmart and everything that is difficult to push out from the retail industry and so on. In the Europe, there's a lot of Auchan and all this Lidl and those kind of retail shops that are not going anywhere. And if you're a small guy working in there, then might be getting pushed out, and this doesn't earn you too much profit either. So I think retail industry is kind of like a no-go. And cooking industry is also something that is more based on the actions that you kind of practice yourself the cooking, and under the hand of some trainings that some specialized chef has been coming to you and recommending you to do how to do what kind of steps, then it becomes more useful than to be actually in the school and learning about it. Because I mean, if you can cook, like, I don't know, if you come from Asia, for example, you could cook Indian very well. You come to, I don't know, UK, put up the Indian restaurant, and you are very successful because you can already cook Indian. If you do the same things as you do at home anyways. So why would you ever need to study it? I don't know. Maybe to get to the big restaurants like Gordon Ramsay restaurant, but you know, he's not going to watch too much about your paper as well. Like, he would check on your actual skills of cooking. So yeah, and I think his line is already read and full of all those people that want to go to work for him, for his restaurants. And yeah, then handicraft is another topic that is kind of fading away because you know, handicraft stuff is already in the museums, it's been done. Like, why would you ever need to make a sword nowadays? It's cool, it's something that not so many people do, and it can be a nice hobby, but you know, cheaper is to manufacture those swords nowadays. So yeah, I don't think that handicraft can also pay off. And basically, as you can see, that what not to specialize in is all about some fun stuff that you can do as your hobby, and unify your hobby as with your work. And they say that you need to be happy and you need to be choosing what's best for you and what you are natural in and so on. But at the same time, remember, there is a lot of competition to you. Like, yeah, I would rather choose something from this list that you are good at, and you are born to do it, and you like to do it, rather from this list. So this is my difference of it. What I would suggest you to do. And yeah, that's the message that I want you to think about. Of course, think about what you like to do. Don't go for, like, example here. If you go for medicine, if you don't like blood, or like army, if you care about your life too much, or like video editing, if you don't like it, you know, yeah, go for something that you like. If you like to edit videos, yes, go for it. And it's a good field to study as well, in my opinion. But maybe some specialists would disagree with me. But I was just like pointing out in general what I've seen in the job market so far, and from my friends and my relatives and everybody that are like doing different things, and my colleagues that have done different things. This is what I scraped together, and this is these kind of things was coming to display to me. Of course, there's like problems in medicine and law and everything like that as well. Like, in medicine, you have to be available very, very often and stuff. But I'm just saying that from my perspective, what I've seen, and what the people that I know have felt, it has been like this. It has been like this that they are interested in it. And I mean, mechanics is not a very dull job. It's pretty fun. So, and robotics can be very fun as well. Just about these things, I would like to warn you that maybe you are like a top-notch like businessman or something, and you want to study business, you want to know more about it, and you're going to start your own business after the school and so on, and you have everything planned out, how to make a big business work. Then yes, I mean, if it's for you, then it's for you. But I just want to warn you about it, that if you are talented in business already, then you can basically already start your own business after the school. Why not? If you need to know some extra knowledges, you can always take some courses for it, or some specific ones. You don't need to waste like 3 or 5 years of your life for this. Yeah, so that's my message that I wanted to put through. And yeah, I know that some of you might be agreeing with me, some of you might not. But this was the result of my thoughts about this, what to specialize in. And next video will be more for, I think I will do about the CV now, because we're going to have, we need to apply to somewhere now. So this one was the choice of your school, or if you want to do 180 turn degree but after that is going to be how the detailed steps about how to apply to the job. And that's what I also want to bring out, that we're going step by step. There's a lot of topics to cover, but if you like this, then I appreciate to leave a like. Of course, like, I don't like to beg for likes or anything, but what is the mission why I'm doing this hobby is that I like to enlighten people about it, and the more people I enlighten, the more sense of achievement do I get from it. So that's why I want to offer like some kind of aspect of my side of it to it. Maybe you don't agree with me, maybe you're like, yeah, you are very environmentally friendly, and you are telling me that you should not list all these industries for environmentally hostile industries in the other list. But yeah, I hope that then we can at least have this kind of like an argument about it, because then we know all the sides. And maybe I'm wrong with my aspects as well. So yeah, if I'm wrong, you can also enlighten me back. So yeah, but yeah, next video will be about most likely about CV. So let's see about CV next video. And sorry about being so long and talkative here, but in the end, it's a very important topic to cover, and you can speak hours and hours about it. So I tried to go as detailed as possible here, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.